One. Hello!
Hello.
And welcome to What Catholic School Didn't Teach You, where we discuss the messiness and complexities of the Catholic faith. And usually we talk about topics that we oftentimes avoid. My name is Katie,
And I am Jillian.
and today we have two things. First of all, this is our first video podcast
Yes,
going live.
I
So,
know.
hello, YouTube. It's so nice to meet you. If you're new here, thank you for being here. If
Yeah.
you're new here, then you don't know what our normal format is. But if you are a normal listener, look, it's been a week.
Again.
Yeah, I guess we have a we have like no more reasons to. We're
Yeah.
not allowed to use that
No.
excuse anymore. Uh, but it has been, and therefore we did little to, and by little I mean no, research on what we had decided was going to be our topic today. So we are introducing a
A new
new
segment. Or
segment,
yeah.
or a new
Segment
topic,
topic? Yeah.
called Yappy Hour.
Yay.
So if you don't want to hear us yap at each other, if you don't enjoy our friendship, then this isn't for you. How's
Right.
that?
Then try next week to start
Yeah.
off.
Yeah. If you're looking to learn something, then you have been in the wrong place from day one. But
Right.
um, we were just discussing poor Jill's car
You know what,
has
people?
gone to the car gods.
Frederick was the greatest little Kia Soul that ever lived.
It's such a Jillian car to drive.
Honestly, let me tell you know what I need to tell the whole story of
Oh my,
Frederick
all right.
Defina because he was a king. Okay, he was a king up to the very end. So so again, for those of you who don't know, originally from Long Island, went to school in Pennsylvania, right outside of Philly. And my first year there, I lived on campus. Well, first I went to a different college first and we lived on campus, didn't have a car. Second year, when I was in Philly, didn't have a car. But then after that, I moved off campus and needed a car. So at this point, I've never bought like anything major in my life. And I used literally my like entire life savings up until that point to buy Frederick. And I was like, I think like $500 short, whatever. And my nan put in the rest of the money, which
An
is why
investment.
like, yes, which is why this even getting rid of Frederick, literally, I cried all night. Like I know I'm dramatic. I know. But you know what? It's like a relic.
Deep
And
feelings. Deep
and
feelings.
as we talked about the other day, it's like a relic. And
Frederick is
I'm
a
just
relic.
sad. I'm just
Yeah.
very sad. And that
A third
car
class relic.
is a relic. And that car served me so well. It was 2012 Kia Soul. I got it in 2013. And I got it was used, but it only had 2,000 miles on it. It was previously
Oh.
purchased by an old couple that at the time, Frederick was like legit. Like he had the best technology. He had the speakers on the side lit up all different colors. Like it was a party. Frederick was the vibe, was vibing.
Discotheque
And
Fred.
correct. And it was too much for this elderly couple, so they returned it and bought the same car again, but without all the things in it. Just like basic model. And my dad and his friend found it and I wanted a Scion at first. I liked the boxy car, but I liked the look of a Scion. That's the one that I
I
really
truly
wanted. But
couldn't
then
even, I don't know, and
I don't, that's like the only two
I
cars that I
don't have the
know.
brain space for it. Yeah.
So yeah, whatever. So I was like, oh, whatever. But like it fit the price. It was like exactly what we needed. Like the mileage was low, whatever. And that's the other thing, people. I'm going off a few tangents, but they all make sense. Buying a car, horrific.
Oh,
Buying a
terrible.
house and buying a car, which is both things I've done in the last 2, 3 months, okay, or going to do, they are the worst experiences of life. Try to convince me otherwise, you cannot. And not only
In
buying a
this
house or a
economy?
car, yeah, but buying a car with your parents who are Italian hagglers like you've never seen before in your life is another experience. So my parents, I go with my parents and they prep me beforehand. They're like, look, you have to be ready to get up and leave. Like you have to be ready. And I'm like, yeah, 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 got it, got it, got it, got it. They're like, you just have to
What are
don't
you, like
open your
20?
mouth. Yeah, I'm 20. I'm like my junior, no, I'm going into my junior year of college. Um, so they're like, you got to be ready. Like, don't open your mouth, don't speak. And at this point, I had already seen, looked at him and I said, Frederick, you're mine. I fell in love
I love that like
instantly
this was
on
your
sight.
first dog. Frederick was your first dog.
I know, I said that to Trevor last night. I
That's
was
how
like,
I'm
he was
trying to
my
like
first
relate to
baby.
it.
I
Yeah.
know, I know. So they're like, my dad is haggling, and like they didn't have a spare tire. At first, it didn't come with a spare tire, which Richard said, no, no, no. And also, my dad's name's also Richard, not my
Yeah.
husband. Let's get that also clear.
And her brother,
And my brother,
for the
and
record.
Richard's
And
dad is
Rich's
also
dad.
Richard.
Yeah,
Again,
there's like five
another
or
story for
six.
another
Yeah.
day. Another story for another day. Then they're like, no, you're not getting a spare car, a spare tire. He's like, all right, let's get up. And I'm like, we're getting up. And I'm like hysterical. And I mean, I probably did have, I don't hold my emotions well, so I probably did look as I felt as hysterical as I was. But like 3 or 4 times, my dad was like, we're getting up, bye. But he got everything he wanted. Although the one thing he did try to get because the Kia Soul was like the hamster car, and he
Mm.
tried to have them throw in the
A
hamster cutout,
hamster.
and
Oh, he
they did
did. I
not.
was
No,
joking.
he really did try. I was like, Dad, like, I don't need it. I don't need the hamster cutout. It's fine.
Okay, but here's the
Um,
thing.
yeah,
Men don't know what to do with the crying woman.
I know.
So your strategy may have worked just as well. We'll
Yeah,
never know.
maybe. I helped, and
We'll
we're gonna
never
really
know.
test this theory in a couple weeks when because I have
Try
to buy
it.
a new car like now, but I'm hoping if I wait closer to Memorial Day, they'll have like sales. I'm just gonna start crying and be like, look, I'm poor and I need a car. Help me.
Help me, I'm poor.
Help me, I'm poor. And Frederick got driven. So this is what happened. So that's how I got Frederick. And Frederick literally, like, I drove for the first time from Long Island to PA to my best friend Elizabeth's house. That was the first time I ever drove anywhere of like distance by myself. And it was a feat. It was wild. I'll never forget that drive. Over the like the bridges for the first time by myself, I was literally unwell. Like Gothel's Bridge, thank God they've redone it since then. But that thing was like a narrow little nothing. I was like pooping my pants, but I did it, and it got me. I wouldn't, Rich and I wouldn't be in a probably wouldn't be married right now if it wasn't for Frederick because that got me to get to him every time that I drove from Boston to Philly, which was pretty frequent, and
You drove?
I drove
I
several
don't remember
times.
that.
Yes, it was
No, you
terrible.
didn't.
I did. I did. I have the emotional scars to prove it.
Oh my
Um,
God.
Driving through
So,
Connecticut and New York, punch me in
okay,
the face.
that's fair.
Just punch me square in the face.
Connecticut is the worst state to drive through. I
Yeah.
think
No, yeah,
that is
absolutely.
well established
Yeah.
in
If
our
Mark
friend
is
group,
listening, yeah, if Mark is listening, he'll back us up. Maybe.
and I think just in the world. I think there's a lot of people out there that would back us up
Yeah.
on that.
Yeah. So, but then Frederick, apparently Kia Souls don't have like that long of a expectancy, which I didn't know because the mechanic said that it's a miracle that he lasted this long.
You literally are talking about this like it's a Labrador Retriever.
I
You're
know.
like,
He's my baby. I like literally cried all last night. People like, you don't understand. Like my husband was like, if you want to talk about it, we could talk about it. Like, no, he can't talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. Like I'm
oh my
unwell. I know I'm
gosh.
psychotic, but I'm also unwell and I'm sad. But so he's been making some grumblings lately, and so I have to drive like about 45 minutes every day to work one way and back. So I've been putting a lot more mileage on him lately than he normally would get in a day. And I think it just caught up to him. And
Yeah.
I'm right by work. Like I had literally one more turn to make to turn I was in the intersection. And then once I made that left, I only had to do like one more left to get into the parking lot. And I'm like, I called Rich halfway on my drive. I was like, Frederick's not sounding great. Like you need to call the mechanic and get so we can get him in. Like literally, I called him 10 minutes before this whole thing happened. And he was like, okay. And I'm in the intersection. I'm creeping up to make a left. I go to hit the gas to make the left, and Frederick doesn't move.
So sad.
And I'm sitting in the middle of the intersection, slamming my foot on the gas and going nowhere.
Tell me what's
And
sadder, this story or the end of Old Yeller, which is
It was so traumatic. I am hysterical crying because also on the street where my job is also a high school. So we have buses. We have high school kids that drive like psychotic animals. And I'm like, this is how I die. I'm in smack dab in the middle of this intersection. And also there's a Chick-fil-A on the other side of me. So I'm
Oh,
like, I
well.
just feel like there's just everything is just it's the perfect storm to die. So I call my husband, hysterical, like, I'm in the intersection and Frederick won't move. What do I do? He's like, call 911. So I hang up because I'm in the middle of an intersection. Like I'm actively blocking
I
traffic.
don't think
So like
911's the move, is it?
yeah, I that's what I
All
was
right.
instructed. Because what was I
All right.
well, I don't know. So
Look,
I called
I don't want to doubt Rich publicly.
well, you just did.
That's between me and
And
him
on
in private
video.
conversation.
And on video. Well, he told me to call the police. So I called 911. Again, reminder, hysterical. Like I'm in the middle of an intersection and my car won't start and I'm scared. I was
They're like,
like,
did you hit a
how old
child?
are you?
Why are
I'm
you here sobbing?
32. And she's like, okay, and then there's like three different signs of like what road I'm on. And I like and she's like, where are you located? I'm like, I don't know. Like, I don't even know. But through the grace of God, and God alone, and
And Frederick,
Frederick,
the soul of Frederick, the Kia
I
soul of
like I'm just
Frederick.
like putting it in park, putting it in drive, putting it in park, neutral. I'm trying all the Prindle that things nothing's happening. Then I turn, you know what? I was like, as a millennial, what's the answer to everything? Turn it off, turn it back on. So I turned it off
Reboot.
and I turned it back on, and through the grace of God, he started. And
Uh,
I was able to move the car out of the intersection, going like 3 miles an hour, but I was able to
hey,
move it. And I had my hazards on, and I'm like waving my hands at the window. Other people are like, I'm sorry, I'm trying to move. And still on the phone with 911. And I'm like, wait, I'm moving. And she's like, so you don't need help. I was like, no, I don't think so. And she's like,
she's
okay. And
like,
then
thank you
hangs
for
up.
wasting precious minutes.
I know. So I really hope no one else was in dire need at that point because honestly, I hope I made her day. 'Cause she's like, this girl is a psychopath. But I got Frederick to the parking lot. I turned off the car and I just like I lose it,
Yeah,
completely lose it. And
that's
then Rich
stressful.
calls me and
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm dead. I'm done. Like this was too much. This was too much for me to handle. So then thank God, another ad. If you want to work with us, hit us up. AAA. Thank God for AAA because got the car towed to the mechanic and my coworker Jean, shout out to Jean, she drove me home. Which was wonderful. And then at last night, I got the news that he is in car heaven.
What's
And I didn't
sadder, this
even
story or the end
know.
of Steel
I didn't
Magnolias?
even
What's
know the
sadder?
last that was gonna be my last drive.
Oh, I'm so sorry,
Oh,
Jill.
I'm
I'm
so
teasing you, but
sad.
I am sorry. And I think I would be just as sad when Sadie goes.
Yeah, it honestly it's tough. And then today at work, because everyone was very invested because like I mean the tow truck came. I was disheveled yesterday. And I was telling everyone the story, and like I'm surprised, and thank God. I mean, if I was probably only stuck in the intersection for maybe 2 minutes,
Yeah.
probably. It felt like an eternity. So I was like, oh my gosh, like someone's gonna from work is gonna see me in the middle of the intersection, and they're gonna have to help. Like, whatever. It was wild. But then I had a report today in briefing that Frederick went to car heaven, and we said a prayer for him in our morning meeting. I got to say the prayer, and I got to at the end. I said, "Frederick, pray for us." So I felt very supported by my work community. Thank you, St. John Vianney Center, for your support
But
in
Joe
this
was just
difficult
saying two
time.
episodes ago that the Pope drove a Kia Soul as well. And
Yeah,
so I
a
am saying
Popemobile
Freddie went to be
with
with
Frankie.
his Lord and Savior Pope
I
Francis.
know.
Freddie and
Yeah.
Frankie just
Yeah. 2 days before the conclave,
they couldn't
do
live
we
without each
find that
other.
to be a
Yeah.
coincidence? I think not.
Pope Francis needed a car in heaven and he was like, "Hey, Frederick Defina,
Yeah.
what you doing?"
Yeah. So now I thank God
He's
for
been called home.
my in-laws who are letting me borrow their extra car. So shout out to them because I don't know what I would do. But now I have to get a car. So if anyone knows about cars, hit me up.
Those cars.
Like, what I need to get or for a car. Because, like,
If
I've never
anybody
had
here
a car
works for
payment.
Midas or has a free car hanging around that they're just
Yeah.
looking to get
If,
rid of,
like, Kia wants to sponsor us,
if you're like
throw
a
us a
free
car.
2023 Benz, I'll take it. I'll take it
Or
off your
Land Rover. I've
hands.
always wanted a Land Rover, but that's so out of my price range. And I hear that their parts are really expensive. So once it inevitably breaks, you're like also out
Yeah.
of luck because that's so expensive. But still, I'm in mourning for sure. And so yeah, that's why we couldn't we well, we're recording it on a Tuesday
Yeah, we
instead of
pushed it.
Monday because I was emotionally distressed.
It's all right. It worked out. Jake had to work late yesterday anyway.
Okay. So, you know, and that's where we're at.
And that's yeah, that's
At
been
least
that's
I
Jill's
don't,
week so
at
far.
least my tonsils are the normal size and my bowels are not upset. So I guess it's a win compared to what my
Man,
April was like.
when it rains, it pours. I mean,
Yeah. That's enough for now for me. I think I've hit my I don't know the word.
did you have you vacuumed up? Okay, for listeners, a couple weeks ago, Jill had hives. Like beginning of April, Jill had hives. And we were sitting on the call
Forgot
and
about the hives.
she was like, Katie, it's so cute in my new house. There are all these ladybugs everywhere. And I was like, are they ladybugs? Are they beetles? And Jill was like, what's the difference? And I was like, well, the beetles are orange and they bite. And then like we had the joint epiphany that like the hives were being caused by the beetles. Have you cleaned the beetles up yet?
Um I just like moved my back to see if it was still there. It is indeed still there. It's dead, but
Well, that's something.
yeah, but we're having a housewarming party on Saturday, so I should probably like get my act together and
Cute.
like
That'll be
I
fun.
will. So by Saturday they'll be gone.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, as long as there aren't any live ones hanging around. I
yeah,
don't
no,
the
I'm
dead
not
ones,
itchy.
whatever.
Knock on
Leave
wood.
leave the dead bodies as a warning for
Yeah,
the others.
yeah, that could be you next.
Yeah.
Which I don't even know because I didn't even kill that one, so I don't even know how it died, but still.
Natural causes.
Fear me. Ay, ay, ay. Well, Katie, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Uh,
For new listeners, oh, I'm sorry. I'm not. What's that John Mulaney bit where it's like, you're old and you're just like talking through burps and yawns? Like that's
I don't do comedians, so I have no idea. That's a
a,
Richard question.
a wild statement.
I
It's just such a Jill thing.
don't think they're funny. They're mean. Okay?
They're not all mean.
Except Sebastian Maniscalco. He's funny.
They're not all mean. Okay, we're not gonna fight on the podcast, Jillian. But um, new listeners, one, I apologize because I keep forgetting that we're publishing this video, and so I keep like looking around like nobody's
Yeah,
watching
that's
me,
gonna be new to to adjust to for sure.
and that is not the case. Um, Second, if you're new here, I have a bebe. I have a child. Um,
Bye.
and she's 4 months old. Her name is Kit, and she's a delight. She's genuinely a good hang. 4 months is really hard, because they're not like newborns anymore, and like everything's shifting, so they're not sleeping as much, and they're trying to figure out their like systems, and their little personalities are starting to show, and like that's a little confusing for them, I think. Her entrance into this world was not the easiest, not the smoothest of transitions, and so I've struggled with some postpartum depression over the past few months. And I just want to say, it's Maternal Health Awareness Month.
Yes.
So if you know a new mom, reach out. Even if you're like, well, she had a baby 6 months ago, reach out.
Mhm.
Um, she had a baby 2 years ago, reach out. One of the potential causes of postpartum depression, obviously, besides trauma, is the like your hormone shifts when you nurse.
Mm.
And so a couple weeks ago, and Kit's like not because of the of everything that happened when she was born, nursing has never been an easy situation for us. So this a past week, we decided like, okay, we're gonna lessen how much we're nursing. Um, all of this to say that because I'm not nursing as much, my BD has been so much more manageable and has been a
Oh,
lot less.
okay.
That's not always the case, but it is for me. Um, but I feel like I was telling my some of my friends earlier today, I feel like I've been away on vacation and I just came back to check my email and I have like 5 million unread emails because I just have like a new bit going in my brain every second where it's like, oh yeah, no, this is how my brain normally works. Like I just have comedic bits going, like I just have
Yeah.
like a million things going on at once. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I sent probably 16 voice memos today just of bits. Just of like things I was like, it would be funny. Some of them are not funny. Some of them are just like, I'm working this out and I just need to say it out loud to somebody. So, how am I? Manic, I think is the word.
Oh,
There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. I feel
yeah.
like I'm getting back to my old self, but I forgot how to manage my old self.
Oh my gosh.
So I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good. We're
Good.
chill.
I mean, this whole idea was born of one of your voice memos. So like
Yes,
love
you were one
that
of my
for
voice
us.
memos today.
Yeah.
I was like walking around. I was like, okay, because Kit is a yapper. My daughter is a yapper. That should not be a surprise to anybody. She yaps day in and day out. She was up at 3 a.m. just yapping.
Mhm.
She just wanted to hang out, and um, she wasn't fussy. She wasn't hungry. She wasn't wet. She just literally just wanted to hang out. And talking to her, we were yapping in the car, and then I was like, a little yappy hour, and then I was like, oh my gosh. Jill and I would love a yappy hour. That's
That
what
is
we should do
wonderful.
tonight
Love that.
because we were slacking.
Yeah.
My week has been a week just because Kit is not sleeping.
No.
That's the only reason why my week has been a week.
Yeah.
But I think we're almost I hope we're almost through the worst of it. She napped
Yeah.
today, which is huge.
Oh, naps. Isn't that funny? Like as kids, like kids fight naps, and I'm like, dude, if you only knew,
I know.
take them while you can.
And she's sleepy. She does this thing that
Yeah.
my husband Jake does when he's tired where he rubs his eyes like
Oh,
ferociously.
yeah.
And Kit does that too.
That's so
So it's
cute.
very clear that she's tired.
Yeah.
Like you are a terrible liar at 4 months old.
Yeah.
You should work on that.
Yeah.
If you want to get anywhere in this world, baby girl, you gotta sell it.
Yeah. Oh, so cute. And also, if you think about it, potentially, I mean, it would be very quick. Probably isn't going to be the case, but we could have a new pope by the time this airs.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah. Again, I don't think that it will happen by Thursday,
That'd be
but you
wild.
never know. Everyone could be on the same page, and this could be done in
Like
like
it
a
needs to be.
day.
That would be
Yeah.
great. I don't see that happening.
Yeah, no.
Because it's hard to get a room full of 5 men on the same page, let alone
135, right? 134, 135.
let alone like I was
Yeah.
at my work meeting today and no shade to anybody, but the amount of times that I was the one being like, "Can we get a date for this?" It was a revelatory idea. It was like, "Oh, yeah, wow." It's like this is just you guys have been in this way longer than I have. This is just like common sense, common administrative tasks.
Yeah.
Let's just get a date on the calendar.
Yeah.
So I just don't see the Cardinals all being that efficient.
Yeah, that's true.
No offense, no shade.
Yeah, no, that's true. My friend Amanda for her school made like a March Madness, but for the conclave,
That's
and
awesome.
like we all like she sent it to us too, like my college friends, and we all put in our like ballots and stuff. So I have we voted on like the top three people that are our candidates, the time of which the smoke will go off,
Oh,
and how many ballots, like how many like votes, like times of voting will it take?
who was your top?
Let me look it up. I already don't remember. And it's hard because I should have just I again was slacking with this too. So I found this TikToker who is so funny. I didn't send them to you, Katie, because you can't see them, and there was too many videos to have to screen record and then send. But he was making like the top, like I don't know how many like candidates that were like the top people. He was explaining them like they were housewives, and then like had them in like a gown at the end, and like had like a hat, like a one-liner for them. It was so funny.
That's
So
awesome.
he had like three videos, so I watched all of those and then picked one of that. But all of the people that I work with are saying that anyone that you see online as a front runner will not be Pope. Like they're like it's just not going to happen. Like anyone that goes in wanting to be Pope is not going to be Pope.
But the front runners aren't
So,
necessarily they want to be Pope. It's who
right,
we want to be Pope.
right. So I don't know, but they were all very adamant that it's not going to be any of the names that we've seen. So, I don't know. So who knows? But I mean, also I can't. I'm going to butcher these names, so just like let it happen. But so Luis Antonio
Yeah,
yeah, so he's
he's
my
my top
yeah, he's my top.
11.
Mm-hmm. Pietro Parolone. I should know this because he's
I was
Italian.
about to say this.
Yeah. Parolone? Parolone? So
Pietro.
he was Frankie's right-hand man and
Yeah,
helped him like make tons of decisions. So I was like, okay, and you're
yeah, he did
Italian, so
good.
like I like you. That's fine. And then
Pietro.
Jean-Marc
Jean-Marc.
Jean-Marc.
Yeah.
Yes, he's from France. And he
France.
apparently he's like very Frankie-esque.
Huh.
And I saw somewhere that like that was Frankie's like top, one of his like top front runners to like take his place. So I was like, well, if Frankie likes him, then I like him.
Do you have any guesses on a name that would be chosen?
No, that wasn't part of it, but
Hmm. I guess it would
um
depend on the Pope or on the
yeah, on the person.
elect. Yeah.
But I saw it was a Father James Martin had like was spitballing different ones that we could see. I mean, I hope it's not like another John Paul.
I
Like
was gonna say, I don't
I
want a
wanted something
pious.
original.
Yeah, I don't
Like
want a
do something.
Constantine.
Yeah, be brave. Be bold,
Be
be brave.
brave. Be bold. Be- Bold, beautiful, blessed.
Yes.
Billy
Oh my
Bold,
gosh.
beautiful,
Can
blessed.
you imagine if someone picked Pope Francis the second? I would die. I think it's too soon. Please
Why
don't pick
not?
Pope.
Junior.
It's
We'd
too
call him.
soon.
We'll
It's
call him
too soon.
Genie.
Oh Lord. But
Frankie Jr.
the number of ballot predictions, so I think it's going to take 7 rounds. So I think they do four each day.
That's
And
exhausting.
yeah, so like it'll take like a day and a half maybe. So who knows if that's the prediction. So I also looked it up. So to pick Pope Francis, it took four. And then the other, like the last two, I think, took eight. So I was like, and seven's my lucky number. It's my
Okay,
favorite number. So
why
I just
not?
picked seven. And then I think the smoke will go off at noon.
I can't imagine having to. I get so annoyed repeating myself.
Yeah.
I can't imagine sitting there and being like, I've already voted for this. Like, you know who I'm voting for.
Right.
We've done this 6 times today.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I would go insane. I don't have the
Mhm.
patience.
Yeah. And I also heard from like this, I don't know if it's true, but could be, that like so it hasn't always took place in the Sistine Chapel, but now it does. But apparently, like obviously that chapel I don't think was built or intended for like this many people to be in
Hmm.
at all the time. And apparently after like a couple of days, after a couple of sessions, it starts to get stanky in there. Yeah,
Gross.
I know. Boys are cooties.
I like the boy smell always. Just
Yep.
bunch of
No
90-year-old men
matter.
in a chapel, and it's like, it reeks in here.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be the case if they allowed women. If they allowed
Yeah.
one
It would
woman
smell like Bath and Body
priest,
Works in
it would
there.
smell so much better in there. It would like all of those men would be washed.
Yep.
She would make sure of it.
Lavender
She
everywhere.
would publicly bully them until they cleansed themselves.
Oh
She'd
gosh.
have, yeah, she'd have some Crabtree and Evelyn spritz going
Mm.
around, just like here, just
Mhm.
she'd have a little basket of deodorants like I used to have for my
Yeah.
teenagers, for my for my middle school students. Like, just think if you ever need it, come on
It's
in.
here.
It's
Yeah.
right here.
Help yourself, please.
Just one. Just one woman.
Yeah. Oh
But no.
gosh.
But
No.
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 But no.
But no.
They're just jealous because we can create life.
Yeah.
I said it. I said it. I said it. I,
Oh,
I
God.
am losing my mind today.
Yeah. I like it. It's fun.
I am a caged animal today. I don't know what's happening in my body.
Oh Lord.
I think part of this too is I've been trying to make like new friends in the area and I've
Oh.
been using my baby as leverage there. And so I've been meeting a lot of new moms and two things. One, I have no idea how to guess anybody's age. So I
Yeah.
don't know where I am in relation to any of these people. They could be my age, they could be 10 years younger than me, they could be 10 years older than me. They could be teenagers. I truly could not tell you. But I also look, I don't display my entire personality. I give probably 85% of my personality on the pod, maybe. There's a whole 15% of me that is you're seeing a little bit more of it now. That is a little more manic and a little more blue and a little more raunchy. Like there is a whole nother side of me that I don't display on the Catholic podcast. But I've also learned that that is the side of me that I have to slowly ease people into if they're going to be my friend, because otherwise I scare them off. And with the exception of
Oh.
Jillian, she's like the only person. It's like Jillian and Abby are the only people who are like, yeah, okay, this. I was like, they can take it. So, but I keep meeting, like, I go to yoga every Monday. And so I'll meet, like, there's just one friend or a couple friends there that I've known for months now, right? And so I'm slowly, they're getting a little more of me. But then it's like some of them I know for 2 months, some of them I know for 1 month, some of them I met this week. And so I'm in varying stages of the personality rollout with these new friends. And I keep losing track. And it's hard to keep track of. And I think
Yeah.
that it's all just kind of coming to a head now that I am in front of a friend. Where it's just all like I gotta get it out because yesterday it
Yeah.
was like I was bobbing and weaving for like three
Yeah.
hours.
I wish I could see you in this friendship rollout. Like I like just like a fly on the wall, like
It's
watching the way that you navigate,
it is
like
a minefield,
revealing yourself to
truly a
others.
minefield. And I don't know that this is a healthy response. I mean, this could be
Oh,
trauma. I have no clue.
yeah.
Like, I don't know that this is healthy, but this is how I've always done it. And I noticed a couple of weeks ago, I was sitting with Kit in front of all these other babies, and she was like, she's like I said, she's a yapper. She's a very social baby. But for like 20 minutes, she didn't say a word and she didn't make a move. She just kind of like sat there and like took it all in. And then like after 20 or 30 minutes, she was like herself again. She was like, okay, I am climatized. I am ready to roll. And I was like, huh, that's weird. And then I was like, oh wait, no, this is literally how I roll up my personality. Like this might be genetic.
Oh, that's so
Because there's no way
cute.
she like she's 4 months old. Like this was 2 months ago. There's no way she took that in at that point.
Well, she needed to suss out her surroundings first
She needed to
before she can let
climatize.
herself out. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
absolutely.
She's rolling out her personality.
Yes.
And it was
That's so
accept
cute.
look, she's got a good personality, so it was
Yeah.
accepted without. I could learn a thing or two. But she has a
Yeah.
better personality than I do, that is for sure. She does not mumble as much as I do.
Oh,
Uh she enunciates.
oh man. I wish we could all be Kit, you know? We're not all as blessed.
I do too. I would love to just lounge and have all of my meals be liquid.
And just have someone hold me all the time. That'd
I
be nice.
I think that might be what I'm looking forward to the most about old age is just liquid meals. Just
Liquid me.
no teeth, liquid meals. Just day in and day out.
Oh,
Just milkshakes.
or puree. But I don't think that's as fun. That's what we were talking about that at Rich's cousin had her first. I've been just attending sacraments left and right last couple weeks. I had two baptisms and a communion that
Fighting those demons.
literally in the last 2 weeks. Yep. And at Rich's cousin's communion party, we were talking about like baby food, and because my sister-in-law just had a baby over the summer, and I talked about Tommy before, but just in case you're new, and they were talking about how some of his like they taste some of his like baby food, and some of
Mm,
it like tastes disgusting, and some of it tastes like pretty good, like they would even eat it themselves. Um, and that's wild because some of the things that like Tommy likes, I forgot which one that they said, like they think is terrible, but he loves it. Um, and
so
some of the things that they
weird.
like that they don't, but it's like it's just wild.
I had a friend in high school that would eat baby food for lunch. Like she would bring baby food
Huh.
and eat it.
And he like,
It's I don't understand it. Like I don't like I love an applesauce.
right, I was just gonna say that I eat the pouches a lot, the
I
applesauce
love an app. I
pouches.
love the Go-Go Squeeze pouch. Like
Yeah.
I hit us up for advertising Go-Go
Yeah.
Squeeze. I go through a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
But applesauce is not baby food. Applesauce is just regular food. It's
What
just
is it? So, you know what?
pureed food.
It's kind of like is a hot dog a sandwich debate because
Hot dog is not a
ba
sandwich. Oh,
is it?
I don't think so. No,
What
not in my
const
mind.
what's the definition of a sandwich? It's there's meat encased in bread. Isn't that sandwich?
I mean, a sandwich doesn't have to have meat if you want to get technical.
Well,
A
you
hot
can
dog is
have
a
a
hot
chili
dog.
dog.
Is
You
a
can have
hamburger a sandwich?
I don't know. Yeah.
No, a hamburger is a hamburger. A hamburger is a hamburger. A
And
hot
it's
dog is a hot
applesauce
dog. If
baby
the hot
food.
dog has relish on it, it's a salad. Okay.
It's a salad. Okay. Oh man.
If the hamburger has lettuce and tomato, it's a salad.
If you people have made it this far in this podcast, God bless you.
My
But
mom's gonna call and
also,
be like, "Are you all
what are you
right?"
doing? Do we need to come and visit? Do a wellness check for
For me or for you?
the both of us. She's got to come to both of us. Oh.
911. You know Jill, the lady in the intersection.
I think she left part of her brain cells in the intersection, so someone needs to do a wellness check. Oh my gosh. But like the idea of baby food is that it's mushy and it's like food that's like hard or just like actual food that's like mushed down so
Hmm.
that babies can eat it. So I think it's not exclusively baby food, but I think it's still baby food.
So is this your argument for why applesauce is baby food?
Yes.
I think applesauce can be baby food. I don't
Mm.
think applesauce has to be baby food. I think this is
It's
a
not
square and a rectangle
exclusively.
situation.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah. That's fair. That's fair.
Pears, and I hate pears, but
Mhm.
like chicken and cranberry sauce or whatever the flavors are. Actually, that kind of sounds good. But
Yeah.
I'm not looking forward to that phase in that's in like 2 months. So I
Not
guess
really.
yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, we were at our 4 month appointment last week, and I have a serious allergy to peanuts. I'm that girl.
That Katie doesn't take
And
seriously.
I do take that. I do take seriously. I just think
Uh-huh.
you have to
Hmm.
live your life. You have to
Sure.
live your life. And also,
Mhm.
if you didn't ask, it is your response. Like that's on you. That's on you. Just accept your fate. You didn't ask.
Like, what do you
Just
mean you didn't
die. Like
ask?
that shit.
Like, what do you mean you didn't ask? Like,
Like it annoys me like when people go out to restaurants and they know that they have this deathly allergy and they
mhm.
don't ask, which I never ask for the record.
Oh, my husband, I usually say it for him because he also has a
I
nut and
never ask either.
shellfish.
But then they have an allergic reaction and then it becomes everybody else's problem. And they're like, we're gonna sue the restaurant. And it's like, no, nope, just die. Sorry.
Just
You brought this on yourself. Accept your
Oh
fate.
my
You didn't
gosh.
ask, you didn't tell them. This is on you.
Yeah.
This is on you.
Oh Lord.
Sorry. Like I would rather truly, truly, I would just suffocate. That's on me.
That's terrible. Well, yeah,
That's
you know
on
what?
me.
Yeah, you might just suffocate, but then think about Kit and Jake just watching you suffocate.
They'll be fine.
No, they won't. It is
I'll
traumatic watching
leave.
someone
I will
have an
leave
allergic
and
reaction.
suffocate outside.
Take your take your closing
It's
esophagus
like
and go somewhere else.
it's like when people start having a heart attack and they like leave the room. That's what I'm gonna that's what I'm gonna do. Take a
Oh dear
page
God.
out of that book.
Take your
But no, so I had to like ask like because peanut butter is like one of the first things you introduce
Yeah.
to babies so that they don't develop an allergic reaction. Doesn't always work. Um, so I had to ask and be like, is she gonna die? What's the deal? They were like, she's probably fine. I was like, all right, sounds
Well,
good.
can you like give
Um,
it to her in the doctor's office? I've heard that like people have done that or like they sat in the parking lot
It's
and
like
gave it to
not
her.
necessary. You normally, so there are normally two. You guys are learning a lot, and none of it's about Catholicism. There are
Maybe the last thing we'll lab about has something to do with
there
with
are
the
two
faith.
types. There are like two strands of reactions, I guess you could say, for anaphylaxis. Like you're born with it and you grow out of it, or you're born with it and you grow into it. I'm growing into mine. So like I ate peanut butter as a baby and as a child, and it wasn't until I was like 4 or 5 that I developed mine. But some
Oh.
people react strongly at first and then they
Yeah,
grow out
that's
of
what
it.
that was like Richard.
But rarely is that first reaction fatal. Or
Oh,
even like rarely does that first reaction come close to like a fatal reaction.
right. Okay.
So like you don't really have to the first time, probably not. If like they react, then the second time, yeah, probably. Like
Yeah.
call your doctor. But like so I don't know. Well, I'll keep
Yeah.
you in tune.
No.
I think I'm just gonna put on a hazmat suit. Jake has a beekeeper's outfit, so I'm just gonna throw that on.
Oh my God.
Jake's gonna feed the baby, see if she reacts, and then we'll put her in the tub and brush her teeth really fast so that I can actually come in contact with her after that.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't even think of that. Yeah. Because that's why we don't give Trevor peanut butter because Rich is deathly allergic to it.
Hmm.
So we all have to suffer.
Oh, I'm so sorry. See, this is what I'm saying. Like, just you just deal with it. That's on Rich.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
you can eat peanut butter. That's on Rich.
no,
Like, sorry.
no. Because I don't want him to die. That'd be really sad. Yeah, especially not from Trevor licking him because he ate peanut butter. That's just not the way to go.
Literally licked to death by a dog.
Yeah, no, not by my son. Well, to end our yapping in a something to do with Catholicism, why you turned on this podcast to
Yeah,
begin
leave
with.
you with something to think about.
Give the people maybe what they want. So this is also why we need you to write into us. Tell us what you want to hear. Ask us questions.
Look, I told
So
them,
we
I
can,
warned them on the start. I said, if you are not a fan of our friendship, turn this off.
right.
This is not your
So yeah, you
episode.
might not even get we might not even be at this point. They might have turned it off before we even got here. So sorry about that. But today I was at work. We were talking about today's gospel, which is John 6, 30 to 35. And it is about how Jesus says that he is the bread of life. And whoever comes to me will never hunger, and whoever believes in me will never thirst.
Hmm.
And thinking about this idea of hungering and thirsting for God. So this idea that, if we go to him, if we continue to live our lives, um, and continue to seek a relationship with God, then we won't ever hunger or thirst. But I was reflecting from my own life in times where, I have come to figure out the hard way that when like there is a place in my heart in my life that is God's and God's alone.
Hmm.
And whenever I would try to put something or someone in that position in my life where God belongs, it always ended in disaster and sadness and heartbreak, whether that was like a boy or social media or like looking for like outward approval from other people or food or whatever that is, when we feel our hearts are heavy, and instead of turning to the one that can sustain us fully, the temptation to turn to other things or like greed or money and things like that, and that it never satisfies, never fully
Hmm.
satisfies. And it was a good reminder to make sure to prioritize spending time in prayer every day, whatever that looks like for you. It doesn't have to say going to mass every day, which if you can, that's great. But just being able to do that and have that as a regular part of your day is really important. And I saw that during Lent when I was really keeping up with doing like the Hallow app and like listening to like my lineup of prayers that I was listening to every day. And I still do, but not as like I was doing it literally every single day of Lent, but or
Hmm.
not the weekends because that was off my routine. But during the week, and I noticed that when I did do that, I was having a more peaceful week. I was setting myself up for success in that way of,
Hmm.
I was less anxious or felt like more connected to God than I would on the days that I don't. Um, and I think that's just a reminder for me to make sure I'm prioritizing things in my life that are important, like prayer, like talking to people that make me happy, especially when things hit the fan and I'm sad. And like, as much as we were joking, but like I really have been really sad. But it's really important to make sure we're turning to people that love us and care for us and can support us, even if we're tempted to not do that.
Yeah,
Um, so I thought that was a good reminder for today.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, thank you all for tuning into Yappy Hour today.
This was
Um,
fun. I enjoyed Yappy Hour. I hope you did too. Maybe you didn't, but I thought it was fun.
I had a good time. We'll do this on occasion. It's not going to be every single time. If you're new, this is not
Don't
every single
worry.
time. Uh,
Don't worry.
Tune in next week, um, for like a real topic.
Yeah.
But if you have not already, follow us on Instagram at what Catholic School didn't teach you _pod. You can send us an email at catholicschoolguilt@gmail.com, and rate, review, subscribe on Apple Podcasts. And if you have any ideas, like we said last time, we will do the research for you. If you we will do the research. We will not cop out and do a Yappy Hour on you. Uh if you have questions, if you have thoughts, feel free to comment on our or send them via Instagram or Gmail or whatever, and we'll do it for you.
Yes, please
Um,
do.
and close us out, just a Hail Mary.
Yes.
Great. Father, Son, Holy Spirit, Amen. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou among women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners, now and at the hour of our death. Amen.
Amen.
Well,
Amen.
thank you all.
Thank you. This was so fun. Hope to see you again next week.
We'll
Because,
see you
like,
next
down there,
week.
that's video.
Yeah. Oh, ew. All right. Bye, team.
Bye.